Do you know that God ghosted Abraham for good 13 years? What do I mean by ghosting Abraham? God didn't speak to Abraham as he has always done for the period of good 13 years. Abraham was without a voice from God. Something got me thinking, and that made me to research and found out why God never spoke to Abraham these 13 years. Abraham had slept with Hagar, the house help, and after that, Hagar gave birth to a child. At that time, Abraham was 86 years of age. Instead of God to speak to Abraham as God has always done, the Bible records that God spoke to Hagar and told him the name that he would call the child, Ishmael. And Hagar named the child Ishmael. From that moment, the next place that I noticed God spoke to Abraham was in Genesis chapter 17. And the Bible records that Abraham was 99 years old. Now, I want you to subtract 99 from 86. You will find out that it is good 13 years. As soon as Abraham slept with Hagar, God never spoke to Abraham again until that Genesis 17. When the voice of God came to Abraham, God said, I am El Shaddai. My name is Jehovah El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect. When Abraham heard the voice of God again in 13 good years, he fell to the ground. He prostrated and worshiped God at his face because what he has lost had been found back. Child of God, the thing that you need most in your life above everything is God's presence, God's voice, and God's directives. This gives extraordinary courage and strength to walk with God. But just one time sleeping with Hagar robbed Abraham of this very tangible opportunity. Now, I want you to think about this. If God leaves you at every woman you touch that is not your wife, now times it by 13, some of us will not even have God at all for the rest of their lives. This is the danger of adultery. There's a danger of touching a woman that is not your wife. It can lead to God leaving you completely. To Abraham, it was 13 years, but I don't know how long it will be to another person like you and I. See, if there's anything you don't need to toil with, it is having the presence of God. Now, see, you might lose everything in life. You can live or stay in a dry land, but hence you have the presence of God. It's going to be turned to a fruitful field. When there was problem between Abraham and Lot, Abraham was not scared. Abraham asked Lot to select anywhere he wants to be, and wherever he left for Abraham, Abraham chose. Because Abraham, God was with him. Abraham flourished and prospered even in a dry land. When you got God's presence going in your life, there is nothing like dry land. What we have is dry people. And dry people are people without the very presence of God. What is it that is robbing you God's presence? What is that thing that is taking the place of God and hindered the voice of God from coming your direction? I would ask you to purge yourself of it today. Abraham, after 13 years, had heard from God. He prostrated to the ground and worshiped God on his face because he knows the value of what he had lost. God's presence is more important than anything you can ask of. Moses said, "If your presence does not go with me, I will not go." Think of how many places and many things you have done without hearing from God or feeling God's presence. They all ended up the way you least expected it. What you need today is God's presence. When it is in your life, every other thing will follow suit. Never allow God to ghost you, even for one day.